The Toronto Raptors' 6-3 start to the season has completely shocked the NBA, and in the process, they've created some franchise history. So in today's video, we tell you what history has been made and also give you a recap of their game from November 3rd last night against the Washington Wizards. Let's get into it. Welcome, Raptors fans. This is Amateur Hour Sports, your source for everything Raptors. We do Raptors news, game recaps, mock trades, and so much more. So if you like the Toronto Raptors and you enjoy content in this sort of video style, make sure you are subscribed to Amateur Hour Sports for 4+ Raptors videos every single week, and you can help us on a road to 8,000 subscribers. So let's get down to what we are talking about today. The Toronto Raptors, there is so much to talk about. A 6-3 start to the season. Fred VanVleet is absolutely balling, and we made some franchise history yesterday. So for the first time in franchise history, the Toronto Raptors have started 4-0 on the road. Now, we always talked about last season when we were in Tampa, we're like, well, wait till we get back to Toronto. Well, sure, we are back in Toronto, but we're also winning our games away from home at the moment and off to a flying start. 6-3 to start the season, 5 straight wins for the Toronto Raptors. They have not won 5 games in a row since August of 2020. It was a streak separated by the lockdown period as well. So 5 games in a row for the first time in well over a year for this team. Didn't do it once last season. Not really a surprise, but man, oh man, the way the Raptors are playing right now, and they're doing all of this. All of this is happening with Kyle Lowry, the greatest Raptor of all time, leaving in the offseason and showcasing in Miami just how good he is, and people are starting to notice. And they're also doing this without their best player, Pascal Siakam, who is unavailable due to injury. They've also done it the last 2 games without their rookie sensation, Scottie Barnes, playing for them. So the Raptors have been utterly immense so far this season. 6-3. They have the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow. That's also probably a winnable game, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's discuss what we saw in the game yesterday against the Wizards. The Wizards, they're off to a good start to the season. They're showing that they're not really a joke either. 5-2 coming into this one. Bradley Beal's always a huge threat, but Bradley Beal even alluded to the fact that the Raptors always have some junkyard-style defense, to quote him, to throw at Bradley Beal, and they utilized that for sure, made life difficult very much for the Washington Wizards, but honestly, as good as the Raptors played, as good as, OG Anunoby was great again, it was the Fred VanVleet show last night, and Fred VanVleet this season has been showcasing that he is the point guard that this team needed. I was talking about Kyle Lowry, the greatest Raptor of all time, leaving the team. Well, we needed somebody to step up in that role as the leader, and we needed somebody to step up as that court general, and Fred VanVleet is absolutely doing that. I've said many times in the past that Fred VanVleet is a shooting guard trapped in a point guard's body. Well, now he's really evolving into that point guard. He's been the floor general. Even in games where Fred VanVleet hasn't been particularly good, he has been that floor general this team needs. Well, yesterday, he was the floor general, but also he was the sharpshooter and the bucket getter that we needed. Last season, previous seasons, I've been a little bit critical of Fred VanVleet for kind of disappearing in the fourth quarter, because in the half court, as the game kind of slows down, Fred VanVleet isn't the best at creating shots for himself other than in mid-range. Well, now the mid-range shot is starting to fall. I'm a bit of an analytics guy, so I don't prefer the mid-range shot because Fred VanVleet typically shoots like less than 40% from mid-range. This season so far, he's shooting 20 for 33 from mid-range, well over 50%. If you're going to shoot with that efficiency from mid-range, which he is right now, and yesterday it was looking like he can't miss. He was looking like vintage Chris Paul yesterday. He was looking like he couldn't miss from mid-range. If he keeps doing that, that is a great shot for him to take. It also gives him the ability to drop off when he can't get to the rim, because last season in particular as well, whenever he tried to get to the rim, he's short, can't always go up with the bigs. So the fact that he can drop off and hit those mid-range shots just opens up so many other parts of his game. He was doing it from 3 as well. Even when he could, he was getting to the rim and making those shots. The Raptors have been lacking this bucket getter in big moments over the last couple of seasons. Who's going to stop the run? Who is going to end the cold stretch for the Raptors? Yesterday, Fred VanVleet proved it was him. And on many occasions as well, OG Anunoby was proving it was him as well. OG was making so many difficult shots. And OG Anunoby is performing so admirably right now, having not had a free throw attempt in 3 of the last 4 games. So he's doing it without any help from the officials. And my goodness, is OG Anunoby getting hacked under the rim on many occasions. But so far this season, the overall performance of the team is quite shocking, but also individual performances have been sensational. Going back to Fred VanVleet, he's currently averaging 9 19 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 7 assists. OG Anunoby is averaging 20 points per game with 6 rebounds, and Scotty Barnes is averaging, when he was healthy, 18 points and 9 rebounds per game. The Raptors' net rating in the NBA is 6th best. They have been so good this season, where many people question their ability to bounce back from last season. They thought they'd be a lottery team. I myself, even as a Raptors fan, I consider myself, on the optimism spectrum. So, you've got the most optimistic here and the most pessimistic here. I'm a little bit off the middle towards the optimistic side, I believe. But even myself, I was thinking, okay, this is probably a play-in caliber team with the ability to surprise and get to the playoffs, but also the ability to surprise in the negative sense for Raptors fans and possibly miss the playoffs. But I expect them to be a play-in, maybe marginally better than that. But so far, they are showcasing they're more talented than that. And even though right now, it's only 9 games into the season, we don't want to jump ahead of anything. The momentum that this team is creating with the way they are playing right now and the way that all these individual performances are going, it doesn't seem like any of this is going to slow down, because even when some people have an off night, there are other players stepping in, and there has to be a lot of credit given to Nick Nurse for the way he's constructed this team, and props to the front office as well for really going for it with this mentality of you want every guy on your team to be able to fit the system the coach wants to play. Nick Nurse wants to play this fast-paced transition game, and they have put the players in place for him to do that. Anybody who steps onto the floor. That is why the next man up mentality is working so well. That is why the Raptors, they created this bench mob vibe from a few years ago, and they've always been known as this deep team that can always go to their bench. And that is why it's here, because every player who steps on the court, I said this in yesterday's video, knows the job that they need to do. They know the job that they have to execute on the court. And when everybody can seamlessly go into the team and perform their role, it doesn't matter if 1 or 2 players have an off night, because everybody else can chip in and pick up the pieces for that, especially when you have sensational individual performances like the one that Fred VanVleet showed yesterday. As far as the NBA as a whole, the Raptors are currently in a very good position. Again, it's very early, but going back to last season, we started 2-8. We have the opportunity to start this season 7-3. At worst, we start this season 6-4. A huge improvement to last season. Fred VanVleet is legitimately looking like he could challenge for an all-star spot. OG Anunoby is legitimately looking like he can challenge for an all-star spot. Possibly an MIP, though there's a lot of players who have taken big jumps this season, but definitely some all-defensive candidates on this Toronto Raptors team. Scotty Barnes is the leader in the rookie ladder. He is favorite right now. Well, not the favorite, but currently leading. If you voted today, Scotty Barnes would be the rookie of the year in the NBA. So many great individual performances with everybody gelling as a team. So this Raptors team has completely blown the NBA away with their start to the season. Nobody, even Raptors fans, are starting to get shocked by how good this team is. I mean, you could be really, really optimistic about the levels of this team, but if you had to have understood before the season, there's really no way you could have predicted the Raptors to storm out of the gates like this. And with the way we're playing, with the way we're executing, and the half-court offense taking a big jump, it doesn't seem like this Raptors team is going to fall off much. Can they maintain this insane pace of winning right now? Can they maintain that through the rest of the season? Doubtful. Very doubtful. But can they maintain some sort of level of this performance for the season? Yes, absolutely. Can this team finish above 500? Yes, absolutely. But still early in the season, you still need to keep everything going. You need to use this momentum and generate as many wins as you can very early. Just keep that momentum coming. Keep that momentum coming. You have some assets you can use to trade if you need to fill in pieces. Chris Boucher, pretty good trade bait. Goran Dragic, another did not play, but another win for the Raptors. Dallas Mavericks fans, they're still clamoring to get this guy on their team on Twitter. So, I mean, hey, if you want him, you got him. We're not using him anyway. We're using Malachi Flynn ahead of him right now. So the way the Raptors are playing, let's keep everything going. But the reason this team can continue to be successful is these individual performances. Gary Trent can break out on a given night. Fred VanVleet can break out. And OG Anunoby can do it as well. When Pascal Siakam's back, this team is going to get even better. The half-court offense is flowing right now. We've become a lot smarter on offense, and a lot of the props has to go to Fred VanVleet. Prez Achiuwa needs to get the memo to slow down on those half-court sets sometimes. But overall as a team, the half-court offense is working much better as we're hitting more of our threes, and we're much more calculated and much more precise with our decision-making on offense. All of these things rounded up together make this for a hugely exciting team, and also makes for not only exciting, but a successful team currently on the court. The good vibes are coming through this organization right now. The fans are feeling it. The fans are feeling the excitement. Just this team needs to continue to build off of this energy and keep winning. The Cavaliers, in theory, should be a win on Friday, but let's not count anything out here. The Cavs have showcased to be a pretty good team as well. Evan Mobley is second in the rookie ladder. So we got to bring our best game and continue this win streak. But I'm so excited. I am so enamored by this team. And just vibes, man. It is literally just vibes with this team. With this team, you can't have the utmost expectation for the future. Just roll with the punches. Just roll with the vibes. Just roll with the win streak that we currently have. Don't look too far into the future. Don't look too far into any sort of playoff picture right now. We're only 9 games in. Just enjoy what we have right now because we suffered so much through the previous season. Let's enjoy winning basketball games. Let's enjoy being above 500. And don't be too harsh on this team when the win streak inevitably loses. Eventually, they will have to lose a game. This win streak will end. Don't be too harsh on this team. Enjoy what we've got. Be happy. Be excited. Be very optimistic if you want to. Keep the emotions in check. But man, how good is this team? This team is definitely the real deal, and they're going to shock the NBA even more as we progress through the season. Let me know your thoughts on this Raptors team. Have they exceeded your expectations? Were you very optimistic at the start of the season and they're more so meeting your expectations? Let me hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give a like on this video if you did enjoy. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and you can subscribe to MHR Sports for 4+ Raptors videos every single week and help us on a road to 8,000 subscribers. In the top corner over here is the purple logo, which is the vlog channel. If you want to watch my vlogs, I go to Raptors games. I have Raptors 9 to 5 season tickets that start next week. You can check out my vlogs there. And in the bottom corner over here, the orange logo is amateur clips. We do a post-game show from the Twitch stream every single game. And you can check out the one from yesterday's game against the Washington Wizards with that button right there. We'll see you again next time for another video.